Gentlemen, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. So in this video, we're talking about a token that's been around a while called Build a Block. Now, this has an income producing method, which makes it very different from other tokens. I'll quickly explain how it all works, why this token is built to last, and pretty much it's eventually going to keep going up forever, just built off the tokenomics. So I'll explain it very quickly. So Build a Block essentially offers Web3 services. So you can go to them if you want a service. So they've got two parts to it. So I could, let's say I want to develop a decentralized exchange. I can go to them, they'll develop it, I'll pay them, that's it. And that's pretty much how it works in a nutshell. But a portion of that money that they've generated from my fee that I've just paid them will go back to buying the chart back. And they've sold, I think, hundreds or 200, 300 worth of, some small projects, some large ones. So a percentage of it, I think 30% goes back to buying the chart. There's other things as well, which we'll talk about and touch on. So you can request a quote and it goes to their Telegram and you can have a chat with them and see how it works. They've got a very basic service model here that you can go through. So if you wanted a token, $300, etc. If you wanted a lottery DApp, 400, self-explanatory. I'll leave the links in the description below. If you wanted a smart contract, whatnot, and then if you want something much larger, I'm sure they can build off, something way more complex than this. So all these little fees are going into the chart, which is making Build a Block, hold well, strong liquidity, and obviously have a growth that's exponentially going to go up forever, pretty much. So it is a good idea, and income producing tokens always do well. And they've been around a while, so they've stood the test of time. They've been through about 3 or 4 sort of crashes, really, and they're still holding up well. So go ahead, I'll leave the links in the description below. Now, some things I want to touch on is obviously the white paper. We'll have a look at the chart shortly. Now, they've got staking and farming, which I really love, and everyone that knows me knows I love it. So I'm going to drop in some staking very shortly onto these. And if you've got any of these tokens, you can go ahead and you can stake some of these or farm them. So sort of liquidity farms. And you can also stake their token, which has a 5k liquidity, which is pretty good. 18%, so you can obviously use a calculator and see how that works. So if you're into staking and you've bought the token, and this is a long-term hold, so it's worth to stake, I would advise, if you are buying this token, to obviously just stake it later on and hold. Now, white paper is pretty extensive in terms of it explains the model very well. It's not too long, so I'll leave the links in the description as well. But it talks about the profit distribution, which is what we want, which is a 30% on sales, goes back and they burn the token. So we'll buy build tokens and subsequently burn the tokens purchased, which is exactly what we want. We don't necessarily want the dev buying back 30%. 50% supply and then holding it and then wondering what's going to happen with it. So what it does, it sets a higher floor each time. So we'll have a look at the chart now. I put it on a 4-hour chart because it is an old token as well. Liquidity is looking good, so no one can get pretty much cheap wax wallet 7.7 tax, and we're looking at a pretty strong run up. So I remember seeing this token months ago. So obviously it launched in May, and should this have been in favourable times in terms of not the market crashing constantly since they launched, this probably would be a very well-known token. This probably would be where most people sort of see it. I'm thinking even with these long-term holds, even add some to liquidity, and that can be quite profitable as well. So moving on forward, had a good run up. They've sort of dipped off, and it's had a massive run up, and it's held the floor. This seems to be like the floor now. Don't rush in and buy it if you're thinking, oh, do I want to hold it? Do I want to buy it? But obviously that price is going to go up with the burns. So grabbing some tokens now will do well. Max Wallet is not cheap at the moment. There's 662 holders. In terms of what's happening with this, everyone that's got these wallets, I checked through them, has had, they've paid for it, put it that way. That's the dead address. So there's not too much, there's tokens in supply, 8% is there, but that can run out very quickly. 3 or 4 max buys, or 30 BNB chucked into the chart will drop that number very quick and make it very expensive very quick, and the price will go up exponentially. So I think Build a Block is something that I'm proud to make a video on, and I'm proud to leave it on my YouTube channel for months, even years to come. So I'll be very interested to see how this goes. I will probably be buying at some point as well. I've yet to buy in, but looking at the concept, and the more I look into it, it just seems like a very good concept that's proven now. And if the market picks up or stays steady, I think Build a Block will go into the millions. And I can rightfully say that because I'm a dev of millions, many $1 million projects. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Links are in the description. Check it out.